Is the Messiah's name Yahusha or Yahushua?
It is neither. Both of those names were made up fairly recently by people who don't know Hebrew. How do we know that the Messiah's name in Hebrew is not Yahusha or some similar variant? Because the Bible says so. The Hebrew and Greek texts of the Bible explicitly tell us what his name was. In the New Testament, the Messiah's name is written in Greek as Jesus. When we look at where this name appears in the Septuagint, we find that Jesus renders the Hebrew name Yehoshua as well as the short form of that same name, Yeshua. These are two variations of the same name, similar to Mike and Michael. Yehoshua represents an earlier form of the name, whereas the short form, Yeshua, became more common after the Babylonian exile. Once we get to the 1st century, we find that Yeshua is by far the most widely attested form of the name. Hence, the Messiah's contemporaries likely referred to him as Yeshua. Now, there is some debate over the last syllable of Yeshua's name. Some scholars think that the ah sound at the end was pronounced much more subtly in the 1st century, resulting in a name that was pronounced more like Yeshua. However, my understanding is that this idea is speculative and is based on limited evidence that mostly comes from the medieval period. In any case, according to the Masoretic text that our Bibles are translated from, the ah sound at the end of the name is fully pronounced. What about modern forms of the Messiah's name that people on the internet claim are the original Hebrew? For example, you mentioned Yahusha. Well, this and other forms of the name were popularized by sacred name teachers in the 1990s and early 2000s. But again, if we care about what the Bible says, these forms of the name are just demonstrably false. According to the Hebrew and Greek texts of the Bible, the first part of the Messiah's name is never pronounced as Yah, and this is easily proven. Throughout the Hebrew scriptures, the name Yeshua looks like this in Hebrew. The first letter to the farthest right is called a yod. It makes a Y sound, as in yellow. Under the yod are two horizontal dots. This vowel is called Sarah. This vowel makes a long A sound, as in say. The yod and Sarah together make Ye, hence Yeshua. Now let's look at the older version of the name Yehoshua. Yehoshua looks like this in Hebrew. Here, the two vertical dots under the yod form a vowel called a shva. When this vowel appears at the beginning of words, it makes a short E sound, as in men, hence Yehoshua. The Greek Septuagint confirms this pronunciation. Again, both Yeshua and Yehoshua are always rendered into Greek as Jesus, which is the name used for the Messiah in the Greek New Testament, translated into English as Jesus. The Septuagint uses the same first vowel for the Messiah's name as the Masoretic text does. Notice the second letter in this Greek name. This letter is a vowel known as an eta, and it makes the long A sound, which is the same sound the Hebrew vowel Sarah makes. If the name were pronounced something like Yahusha, the Greek translators would have represented the initial sound with an alpha rather than an eta. Their choice of eta proves that the Messiah's name does not begin with Yah. The bottom line is that no ancient text says Yahusha or anything close to it. Those forms are modern English inventions, not authentic Hebrew pronunciations. So if you want to refer to Jesus by his Hebrew name and do so accurately, then you should use Yeshua.
The Bible that I read from that has the name of Yahuwah Yahusha is the Sefer.
Well, right there is your problem. The Sefer is garbage. I explain why in this video. In any case, I know that most people watching this video right now think that this is a trivial issue, and I totally agree in one sense. Nobody is sinning by mispronouncing the Messiah's name in Hebrew. Having said that, since we can know the truth about this issue with certainty, we should strive to be accurate. There is no reason to continue using a name that is easily proven to be a complete fabrication. No good could come from it. Also, it is possible that some harm could come from it. If you get basic things like this wrong, people might not take seriously anything else you have to say. So, I hope this video helps, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Hey everyone, thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below. If you want to see more content like this, I want to invite you to subscribe to my channel. Also, don't forget to hit that little bell so that you'll be notified when new videos like this are released. One last thing, be sure to connect with me on my website, davidwilber.com. There you can find a ton of free resources like articles and videos, learn more about the books that I've written, and subscribe to my newsletter to ensure that you never miss an update. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.